What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Hangout spot where you already know it's real talk, boxing talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and I am your host for another edition of the Hangout Spot Live. This time, the Thursday night edition, and I just want to thank everybody who rocked out with us on Tuesday night. I had light heavyweight contender Anthony Sims Jr. Black Sugar Sims was in the building, and he was here live and direct to help me break down last weekend's fight, David Morrell against David Benavidez. We broke down that fight. We broke down the entire card. So if you did not rock out with us live, make sure you check out the recording on YouTube on the Hangout spot. And man, we got another great show in store for you here tonight. In just a little while, we have the head trainer and father of the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez Sr. will be joining us. Right now, he's actually headed to a hotel. So I told him that we'll get the show started, man. You know, we'll rock out, and hopefully in a little bit, in the next 15, 20 minutes, you know, we will get it on. So he was gracious enough to give me some time. I wanted to bring him on to not only talk about this victory this past weekend, but I also wanted him to kind of break down the performance, and I wanted him to kind of touch a little bit on David's future, because right now a lot of talk is being swirled around that David could be the next possible opponent for the winner of Arthur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. That's the rematch. That's going down February 22nd, Riyadh season. As you know, Arthur Beterbiev won the first fight. This is the rematch. If he wins the second fight, then potentially David Benavidez could be next. But I just want to get that confirmation from Jose Sr., if he can give me that confirmation at this point in time. I also want to find out if David's going to be live and direct at Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season, February 22nd. That's usually what Turki Al-Sheikh does. He usually bring a fighter or a potential opponent for one of the fighters on the card. He usually brings them there so that they're there live watching the fight. So I'm curious to see if that happens. But either way, man, the future is extremely bright for David Benavidez, man. I mean, he proved the point. And like I said, if you have not seen that breakdown, make sure you check it out, man. Like I said, my man, Anthony Sims, we did it up. We did it up. But before we get started, because there's a lot going on in the boxing world, man. I mean, Canelo. I mean, that's the biggest name that you've been hearing the last 48 hours. And we're going to be all over it, man, because some shit went down, then shit broke down, and now we have a potential big mega fight, with Jake Paul. So before we get into all that, you already know the deal here, man. There's ground rules here at the Hangout spot, man. If you are watching this live on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Matter of fact, you smash that like button, as it will help with the visibility of the channel. We are trying to get this channel out into the algorithm of other boxing fans so that they know that we rock out every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes even Wednesdays, depending on who we have as guests. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Central. And if you have not subscribed to the Hangout spot, make sure you do that. But more importantly, spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. 2025, we're looking for big things here at the Hangout spot. And we're looking to turn this train into a locomotive. In order to do that, we're going to need some more passengers. And last but not least, the chat is open. It's free, but the super chat is also open as well. If you want to throw a brother a bone, I will always appreciate it.
Straight cash, homie.
That's how we do it up here. But at the end of the day, man, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it, because we
interrupt this program with breaking news.
Yeah. So big name in boxing. I mean, Canelo Alvarez right now is making a lot of headlines, and it's because of his potential fight with Bud Crawford that 48 hours ago, or about 72 hours ago, supposedly it was a done deal, and now talks have broken down and supposedly it's canceled. So we're gonna get into that in a second. But without further ado, I think I see my guest in the waiting room, so we are going to bring him in. Like I said, I admire this coach very, very much. He's always showing me love. And if the year ended right now, let's be honest, he'd probably be trainer of the year, man. He's off to a blistering start in 2025. So without further ado, I want to bring in my man, Team Benavidez, Jose Benavidez Sr. is in the building. What's going on, Coach? Welcome back to the Hangout spot, my man.
Hey, thank you so much for the invite, man. Super excited, super happy. A great weekend. 2 weekends, actually. We started with Diego Pacheco. We finished with David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. And I couldn't be more proud of their performance.
No, listen, man. I just told my viewers right now, if the year ended right now, Coach, you'd probably be undisputed trainer of the year, man. You're off to a hot start, man. I
Uh,
mean,
we're working hard, man. I appreciate all the fans for the support. We're going to continue working hard, but we're very grateful, very thankful from somebody that didn't know nothing about boxing to be where we at right now, man. It's unbelievable. It's great. It's a great feeling, and all thanks to God, that allows to be here and making all this happen.
no, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I just wanted to thank you for coming back. Like I said, my friend, I know that you're traveling and you're on vacation, and for you to be gracious enough to give me some
Yeah,
time,
this
man, I
is
just want to say I
beautiful, man.
appreciate
Here, I just got here to Puerto Rico, man. Never been in Puerto Rico. Super excited, super happy to take 2, 3 days off, and man, I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it, man. It's beautiful. I just got here next to the beach here, and man, it's beautiful.
it. Shout out to you, man. You never so this is the first time in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, this is my first time in Puerto Rico. Actually, as a matter of fact, my wife had on the last fight, she had a trip planned to Tokyo. I couldn't go, man, because I was so busy. Could never make it, man. But thank God this time I was able to make it, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed with a lot of work, and finally I get to take a little short vacation. It's only a little short vacation, man, but it's better than nothing. Thank God I'm blessed with a lot of work. I got to go back and train, and we got to take advantage of the opportunities and the fighters that we have right now.
No, absolutely, man. And you deserve that vacation. Like I said, the last few weeks, you've been on fire. Like you said, a couple weeks ago, Diego Pacheco, an impressive win over Steven Nelson. We'll get into that in a second. But I just want to jump right into it, man. This past weekend, Coach, this was the first big card of 2025. You had your son, David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, headlining against, at the time, undefeated Cuban David Morrell on pay-per-view, Las Vegas. It was live and the fight didn't disappoint at all. Now, these are two guys that were on a collision course at 168, and now the fight finally happened at 175. And David obviously dominated and wins by unanimous decision. But coach, how satisfied were you with David's performance, and what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, man, I'm super proud, super happy. He did better than what I thought he was going to do. I told people that you guys want to see a different David, a David that has a lot of peace in his life, connected with God, with the universe, the frequencies, the vibrations, and pretty much the energy of the earth and all that. He's super focused, man. When you got a super focused fighter and a happy fighter, man, you got a dangerous fighter. And I will give him a 10, man. The way he thought, think, and the decisions he made right away, pulling the hand down, going to the body, uppercuts, and everything that he did was right on point, because we were fighting a very dangerous fighter, David Morrell, very decorated amateur, two-time world champion, left-hander, and he never gave him the opportunity to do whatever he wanted to do. David took over, took control, and we seen a different David Morrell. But a lot of people don't know that the plan was, we had to take his legs off. We had to take him. So David went to the body right away, and without him knowing, he got a little tired. That's why he had to stay in there and fight with David. A lot of people don't know that we couldn't allow that because Morrell has really great footwork. So we had to be in his experience that he hasn't been there. We had to take over right away, and without him knowing, taking his legs away.
No, that's a good call out. But you mentioned David looking different in this fight. And you're right, coach. There was a different feel to this, right? I mean, there was some hostility, but David looked really, really focused in that last press conference when a lot of people were kind of criticizing Morrell for kind of clowning around and smiling. David was all business. Do you attribute that new David to maybe the married life? Now he has children. Do you think that that's kind of settled him in and made him into a different focused fighter?
Yeah, that's another big element to his life, to himself, to his boxing. Uh, he has another baby coming on the way. He has 3 kids, 3 grandsons. So uh, that's one of the biggest elements also there. When you're married and you have kids, he's spending a lot of time with them, and you don't have time to unfocus. He was a focused 100%. And I believe that that's another element that got into his life, and that's why, he's not just fighting for himself now; he's fighting for his family, and uh, and I see all those changes. That's why I told everybody, you guys are going to see a different David, man. Morrell said, that David was a RoboCop, but then he forgot to mention that AI RoboCop, because he was getting hit from everywhere.
You ain't kidding, coach. You ain't kidding, man. And congratulations to David on the third child, another grandchild for you. So congratulations to you as well. And you nailed it. I mean, the body work. You saw typical David in that fight. The body work, the hand speed, pulling the guard down and nailing Morrell with a bunch of those shots. I thought that was. I mean, it was awesome to see. But one thing that I thought was really impressive with David, and I think it's an underrated part of his game, is his defense. I mean, I don't think he gets enough credit on his defense. I mean, how did you rate his performance defensively? Because he was blocking a lot of shots, he was catching a lot of shots, he was moving his head. How would you rate his defense?
Yeah, like you say, he's very underrated on that, and the footwork, the defense, the punches, pretty much everything, But he's only 20 years old, 28 years old, so he's been proving. And we listen to the critics, we listen to what the people say, and that's what we try to focus on, get better and better on the mistakes that he's working. And I think he's getting better and better and better. And he was blocking a lot of punches, to be honest with you. I only saw him get hit 3 times, really good. He stepped in with his hands down. Morrell caught him with the Morrell was in the corner, cut him with the right, and he also hit Morrell. But I think Morrell was a bigger shot, and he got a little bit out of balance. But I'm like, oh, he might have gotten hurt. But he started fighting, man. So to me, it's like, okay, he got hit with a good shot. And the other time that when he got hit was when the referee was holding him down, and Morrell just throw that last shot, right on the side. That's how he got swollen on the right side of the left hand, and maybe that's what I'm saying. But nothing to take away from David Morrell. He made it a really good fight because he was trying to fight, but those 2 shots are the ones that I saw that they were the bigger shots. But Morrell did connect some shots in there, not as close to David, but it was a war, man. It was an exciting fight. It was a good fight. Morrell's a great fighter, but it was just Morrell will connect 1 shot, but David will connect 5 all the time, So that was a big difference right there, that David came with punches and bunches and was letting his hands go. So that was a big difference. Uppercuts, hooks, body shots. He had a very beautiful display of boxing on Saturday. So, but like I said, David made it exciting, and Morrell. It was an exciting, great fight. So I want to take my hat off Morrell too. He's a great fighter.
No, absolutely. He put on a really good performance. My prediction before the fight was that David, your David, was gonna probably knock him out in the eighth between the eighth and 10th round. That was my prediction. I thought eventually the experience and all the tools that David has in his toolbox would be too much, but Morrell was game. He was game. And you brought up a question. You brought up something that I wanted to ask. That late punch after the bell. Did that hurt David? What was his reaction when he
No,
got back to the corner,
it
man?
didn't really hurt him, but it was a big punch. I mean, when you got your guard down and you're not thinking about fighting and you get hit like that, those are dangerous punches
He was
because
flush.
your body is not like when you see a punch coming. You're already you're already watching that punch. Your brain is already registering. But when you're down and you think, hey, everything's over, the referee already held me or whatever, everything's gonna go, boom, you get hit with that. You know that's a very dangerous punch. Thank God nothing happened there, and I didn't even complain or nothing about that. Or when David tripped, you know, it's okay. Those are the things that there's nothing we can do. And we gotta continue fighting. We can't let something like that bother you. So you see a lot of coaches sometimes, hey, ref, that was not a no. I don't do that shit. I continue going, bro. And let's go, go. If they said it was a knockdown, let's accept it. And if they said it's a slip, I don't really focus on those things. As long as my fighter's okay, and I saw when David got up, it was like, I actually that activated him to come and throw more punches. So that was a good thing.
Right. That was that was after that knockdown, which coach, I've been watching that over and over. That was not a knockdown, in my opinion. I mean, he
Yeah,
caught him up.
but like I said, it made the fight excited. A lot of people didn't see that. Oh, David's down. Oh, Morrell dropped David. So it gets exciting, like, damn, now is he going to finish him? So I mean, things happen in the rounds. And I believe that David had a great bouncing partner there, to uh, to show his skills, and also a lot of people saw a lot of the skills of David Morrell. I think he is going to be a world champion. I think he's going to come stronger. David Morrell, I think, learned a lot from this fight. We learned a lot too. So it was a great fight.
No, absolutely. I'm here with head coach Jose Benavidez Sr. If there's anybody that carries out his nickname, it's David Benavidez. He is the true Mexican monster. He's a warrior. Shout out to him and congratulations. I can't wait to see him in the ring again. And you mentioned David Morrell. Coach, I saw your conversation that you had with Cesar Seda, and you guys specifically spoke about Morrell. And I think from that conversation, like I said, your respect for him was genuine. And I think you even mentioned that you wouldn't even mind coaching him one day if
Yeah,
the
no,
opportunity
what a
presented,
lot of
right?
people, what a lot of people don't understand and don't know before the fight. When he got the belt, when he won at 175, I went and congratulated him, and I always talk to him, and I told him, hey, congratulations, great fight, you're next. You're next with David. We're gonna make that fight happen. It's an honor. It will be a great fight. It will be an honor to fight you. You're a great fighter. So we were all good friends. But once we made that fight, his team and everybody started getting mad, and that bad vibe went with him. And then he didn't like me no more. You know. And I still like him, but after that fight, I gave him a lot of respect, and I told him, if there's anything you need or whatever, man, he's a great fucking talent, man. He's a great fucking fighter. I just told him too, I told Cerda, I mean, yeah, he's a great fighter. I would love to train him, why not? Doesn't make sense. But I just said it because in a good way, because I like him and he's a great fighter. Who wouldn't fucking want to train David Morrell?
No, that's what I'm saying. I know it was more out of respect than anything else, and that's why I respect him for.
Imagine if I was to train him, man, and fucking we work on the body and I mean on the things, because all my fighters, man. I don't know if you've seen Daniel Blancas. He fucking tore that guy to the body. Junior,
Absolutely.
I just love the body, man. I love the body, that jab, the body, and good defense. So imagine if Morrell would have something like that. He already has a lot of fucking talent. Imagine just with more placing the body shots, hitting on the body shots, and using his distance a little bit more, that he did not use this time. The jab.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. When I heard that, I was like, that's what I love about Jose Senior, man. Like I said, he sees the other fighters, he respects the other fighters, and their skill level. But listen, I think right now, there's a lot of buzz around David. Right, the sky's the limit. What's next? What's next for David? There's a lot of talk
Well,
that you could
we're planning
possibly
to
get
go to
the.
Saudi to see the fight with Better Beef and Be Bold. The Turkey Al team already is working on getting David Benavidez and the team to get us up there, and we want to make that fight happen. Whoever wins, Better Beef or Be Bold. We are the kind of fighters that we need to keep proving ourselves. We are the kind of fighters that we want to give real fights, not like these circus fights that are happening. These are the fights. These are the fights that people want to see. And we're gonna continue, guys, giving you great fights. We would love to fight Better Be Bold, Sudo Ramirez. I believe that those are the three biggest right now, and those are the ones that we want, and the dangerous fighters right now.
So that you bring up a good point, because usually when guys like Turkey Al Sheikh bring other fighters in to see other fights, then that means that there's a plan, to put him in against one of the fighters that are fighting. So,
Well,
but
right now the WBC they made it mandatory to fight the winner of David Morrell and David Benavidez to fight the winner of Big Bull and Beterbiev. So that's done. So I think the WBA also are doing that. So we have two mandatories. So I think that fight is going to happen. So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So I'm very confident. So hopefully it happens. So I think we're almost there.
yeah, but coach, what happens if Bivol wins? Are you afraid that
No,
there'll be
no,
a
that's what I'm
rematch?
saying. It doesn't matter who wins. I think I think maybe in my mind, I'm thinking they'll fight right away again, the rematch. I don't know. We got to wait on that, but or somebody gets injured, we go in there, or we get the fight, and then they'll probably do the rematch. To be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know, but let's make hopefully something happens. But yeah, that rematch can be done. But I don't think there's no rematch clause no more.
Ah, so that's interesting. Like I said, because I'm thinking if Bivol wins, that they're going to go for a trilogy.
Yeah, I
They
don't.
would
Yeah,
have
I
had
don't
no
think.
David.
Yeah, I don't think they have no rematch clause. But who wants to see another fight? Bebo and Benavidez. They would like to see David Benavidez, and then the winner of that gets the fight with or maybe the rematch.
Who do you see winning between those two guys in the rematch?
Both of them are very dangerous, man. I think we're gonna see another fight at the same fight that we saw, very close fight. Bebo is gonna do what he did. Benavidez is gonna do what he did. So both of them wanted to win that fight so bad, but in my mind, nobody looked really impressive in that fight. Like hurt one or another. It was very close. I thought B-Ball won by 1 point, but at the end of the day, I'm not a judge. I don't. But in my mind, that's what I saw.
I agree. I had Bivol slightly winning, but I'm not mad at the decision. I'm looking forward to the rematch, and I do want to see David face the winner. But this weekend, Coach, you must have been tired. You and David must have been tired of answering questions about Canelo. How many times was Canelo's name mentioned over the weekend, Coach?
Oh my God, that's the only reason we went up to 175. Because we didn't want to know nothing about this guy, man. Every day, Canelo, Canelo, Canelo.
It's not
Man.
going to stop, Coach. It's not going to stop
Yeah,
until
so
we get him in
we're
the
like, oh,
ring.
we're finally we go to 175. Nobody's gonna ask nobody, but yeah, it's the same thing every day, man. Canelo, Canelo, you know. But the people is right. The people want to see that fight, But Canelo is not gonna give them that fight. He's trying to fight. Look, right now he's fighting Jake Paul. I'm wondering, and I'm gonna look at the comments. What people are gonna say. He's a real champion, a real fighter. You know, uh, Wi-Fi. Um, this guy instead of fighting what's the name, Terence Crawford or fight David Benavidez. I mean,
So
at the end of the day, it's I don't think people are happy. With that. I'm not happy. I don't like what the fuck, really.
listen,
So. But at the end of the day, people could do whatever they want to do. We're trying to do our own path and do our own way and just fight the fights that the fans want to see.
so listen, I was doing some analyzing here because this is what I do. I overanalyze stuff. So 78, 72 hours ago, they announced that Canelo was going to fight Crawford in September, right? Yesterday, last night, the Ring magazine puts out, a report that fight is canceled. So now I'm thinking, what the hell happened? Could it be that maybe they're going to pivot and possibly make David versus Canelo in September?
Nah, that will never happen.
I'm
Never.
trying. I'm Coach. I'm trying to
You think you
wish
think you
it.
think
I'm trying
Canelo
to
will
wish
want to
it
face the?
into a.
You think the Canelo will want to face the Mexican monster? Look who he's fighting. Look who he's fighting. You really think that? You know, I don't know. He'll probably after Jake Paul, he'll probably try to fight his brother, and after that, he'll try to fight somebody like Mike Tyson, maybe. You
Oh
know.
man, Coach.
So come on, bro. Look where he's going. Look where he's going.
That was good. That was good. But yeah, listen, I was gonna ask you what you thought about that Jake Paul thing because supposedly Eddie Hearn said it's a done deal. Like it's
That's what
going
I.
to
That's
happen in May.
what I've been watching. That's what I've been watching. But at the end of the day, man, they can do whatever they want, man. Uh, I mean, who's gonna stop them? What? What's gonna happen?
No, I hear you. But listen, if let's say hypothetically, Turkey gets involved, he throws Canelo a shitload of money, and they say let's make it happen. Would you guys take that fight, and would you move back down to 168 to take it?
Of course, man. Of course. I mean, we always said that, But like I say, we're not gonna sit here and wait. Look what happened. It was a great fight. We've been performing. We've been active, and we're doing our own way. We're making history. So we're ready. We're ready to fight anybody, man. Anybody.
Yeah, but coach, do you think it'd be a good idea to have David move back down from 175? He looks comfortable there.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, you got to make sacrifices. I think David could do 168, not a problem. You know, 175, not a problem. We could do one. We can fight at cruiserweight, not a. You know, the thing about us, man. You know, we're not afraid. You know, to face or any challenges or face anybody. You know, uh, and we're very and we're not here talking about money. You know, we're talking about the biggest fights and the biggest dangerous fights. You know, so money will come. You know. So we just want to stay active. We just want to give the people what they want. If they want Canelo, let's make it happen. If they want B-Ball, let's make it happen. If they want Sulu Ramirez, let's make it happen.
You guys sparred against Bivol in the
Yeah.
past, right?
We spar B-Ball, we spar Sulu Ramirez. But sparring is different, man. At the end of the day, you know, when you put those 10-ounce gloves, it's different.
No, absolutely. I just like to ask that question just for the just for the familiarity of the two,
Yeah.
because a lot of fans are saying that they prefer one guy over the other. I know you guys will fight either one of them, whoever wins, and honestly, I have a funny feeling that Benavidez is going to win the rematch again,
I
which will
hope.
set up a fight
I hope.
with David. Man, that would be a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if he wins, then we're ready to go. Because in order for them to make the third fight, B-Ball has to win. You know?
Right.
So let's cheer for Berby.
So you're cheering for Benavidez. All right, that's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So Saturday you also had two other fighters, so it was a clean sweep for you, right? All
Saturday,
three.
I also had Jose Benavidez Jr. He stopped the
Yeah.
guy in the sixth
Yep.
round.
Yep.
I
That's
have
what I wanted to talk about.
Daniel Blancas also.
Yep.
He's looking really good. And then I also had Gabby Reyes from Texas.
So that's the fight that I did not see. I saw the other two, but before we get into that, Jose Jr., man, he stopped Danny Rosenberger, fifth round TKO. He's now 29-3-1, 20 knockouts. How do you rate his performance, man?
You know, another thing too with him, you know, finally I think he matured, and now he has three girls, and more focused. Also meditating and living a really good life, man. He also connected with God and all that, and I knew that this fight was going to be different, and I'm very happy with what happened with his performance, and hopefully what I'm trying to get is a fight with Laura. So that's the plan, you know. Hopefully, we could get an opportunity with Lara. If not, Bronco, Caballo Bronco,
That's a
Odames.
good fight. No, that's a great fight. Both of them. I was going to ask you, like, what do you think is next for Jose Jr. and how soon do you want to get him back in the ring? Because he's been out
He's
of the
ready.
ring for
No
a while.
cuts, no injuries. So we're just waiting to see Adames is going to be fighting pretty soon, like in about a week or two, and see how that comes. And if not, like I said, Lara is the other fighter that we're looking for.
Shout out to Jose Jr., man. I'm gonna reach out to Jose Jr. I want to get Jose Jr. on here, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, yeah. I would love to get him on and talk about not just his past, but what could be a bright future at that division. Like I said, those are fights. Those are really good fights for him.
For
In the
sure.
future. And
Yeah.
and Daniel Blancas, man, how excited are you for him? He now improved to
Yeah,
12
yeah.
and
You
0.
know, Daniel Blanca, we've been paying very close attention to him, and
You
he has
told me
been.
about you told me about him at Pro Box.
Yeah, he's been performing and getting better and better and better. Body shots, man, body shots. He did some fucking nasty body shots, man, too. And yeah, straight punches, you know, head movement defense, and he fought an undefeated fighter. That kid was not easy, bro, but he was able to manage and control and win all the rounds.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the last fighter that you had, I did not see. What weight division is he fighting again?
The last fighter
You
was
said you had
Daniel
four
Blanca.
fighters. No,
Daniel Blanca.
you said you have four fighters. Jose,
Yeah, yeah, no,
Daniel.
the girl
Oh,
was a
the girl. I'm sorry. Yes,
126.
yeah, yeah.
The
Oh,
girl,
okay, right. And I've seen film of her.
yeah,
Like I've
yeah.
seen videos
That
of her
that girl,
training.
you know, I've been working with her now. She's like ranked number two in the world. I mean, number two in the United States or something like that. So they both they're just two sisters. They have the youth titles, the WBC and something else I forgot there. NABF, I think.
Wow, clean sweep for you on Saturday. It was a good night for you in Vegas on Saturday. So you definitely earned this vacation. And then 2 weeks ago, again, let's talk about real quick before I let you go, Diego Pacheco. That was a hell of a performance, man.
Yeah, that
Against
was
a tough guy, a tough
another
guy.
another tough fight, man. We knew that Steven Nelson was going to come with everything. You know, that was his last opportunity. And he's an undefeated fighter, a guy that has struggled a lot and throws big punches. But we knew if we stuck to the plan, you know, the distance, and not let him get close, he was gonna get frustrated. And by the time he got frustrated, then we're gonna risk and try to throw those uppercuts too and those big hooks and straight punches.
Yeah, man. He improved to 23-0, 18 knockouts. He made some adjustments in that fight. He showed a lot of grit. And he showed that he's ready for the big boys for a title shot. Do you see a title shot potentially in 2025?
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, these guys are getting better and better and making adjustments. That's the hardest thing to do in boxing. Try to make adjustments when you're in trouble or if the things are not going the way, the plan is not going how you thought it was going to be. That's when we make adjustments, and these guys are making adjustments, and they control the fight. So he did well. So yeah, we're ready. We're ready. He's mandatory also to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. Mandatory to fight. Anybody. And Billy, we were gonna try to fight him Billy before this fight with Steven Nelson. We signed a letter, and they didn't want to do it for the eliminator. So they decided to fight somebody else and do it later on. So we're already right there chasing anybody for an eliminator or an interim belt or anybody right there.
No, absolutely. A lot of good fights for him out there, man. Personally, the fight that I would like to see is Berlanga. I think that would be a good fight. I think in Billy. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to mention who Canelo because I don't know if he wants to fight any of your fighters for some reason.
Yeah.
William Skull, an IBF
I
fighter,
think those
William
are
Skull.
the bigger fights. I think to make Scold or and Billy Berlanga will not get close to Diego Pacheco, bro.
You
To
don't
be
think
honest,
so?
nah, hell no. He's still celebrating his defeat against Canelo. He thinks he's a superstar. So let's give him time. If he's watching, if his manager's watching, let's make that fight happen. And you tell him. They don't want to get close to Diego Pacheco.
I'm gonna
But I think
actually see him soon, so I'm gonna give him that
let's
message.
tell him. Let's make that fight happen. Tell him Team Benavidez is ready to make that fight. Tell your manager, we want that fight so bad. We want that fight so bad. Let's make it happen. Diego Pacheco against Berlanga. And, there's another fight, too, that we want. It's Munguia. That's another fight. Munguia, Scolt, or Billy, those are the fights.
That's another good fight, man. That is another good fight. You got my man Bang Bang Boogie in the house. What's going on, champ Johnny? Benavidez see you. He wants to give you a shout out, coach. And coach, you called it. You had a vision for your son, and you guys together accomplished it. Saludos, hermano. So Bang Bang Boogie wants to give you your props.
Oh, muchas gracias por el apoyo. We're gonna continue working hard, bro. Like I said, from not knowing nothing and now being here with great fighters and making history and pay-per-view fighters, man, it's sky's the limit, man. Anything can be done once you stay focused and put your mind into it and visualize. Things happen, bro, and it's happening now. There's proofs right there. Uh, and we're super happy, very thankful to all the fans and all everybody, social media and everybody that brings the news. That's the only way we got here. Also, we couldn't got here by ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boxeo automático, Otomico. Saludos a todo el equipo Benavides. Tuvo un mes muy trabajo. My Spanish is not great. So, un mes muy trabajo. Okay, so I guess you said you've been busy the last month.
Yeah, no,
And you
no,
have.
muchas gracias, muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Se les agradece. Hay que seguir trabajando, hay que seguir echándole ganas. Esto es el boxeo. En veces estás aquí, luego bajas abajo y hay que aprovechar el momento, hay que echarle con todo.
See, absolutely. Coach is doing great work. You got my man Wax in the building. Absolutely, man. Everybody is showing you or showing you love, Coach Eric Harris. I want to start hearing the talk about the coaching brilliance of Jose Senior and the high IQ of David Salute. I think again as a trainer, man. Yeah, I mean you're doing big things. If the year ended right now, you'd be trainer of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, and thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support, man. We love what we do. That's why I talk a lot of shit because I know I can back it up. I got great fighters, good fighters, and actually that motivates me to get up and prove everybody that I'm gonna back up whatever I say. And so far so good. Like I said, we're living the dream, we're living the moment, and we're gonna continue and giving it all while we can.
No, I appreciate you. It's a Rizap. What do you think about the supposed Canelo versus Paul fight that's scheduled? We already kind of discussed that. I think that Jose Senior thinks that's a clown show. I mean, Canelo is a unified champion, former undisputed. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, David Benavidez was the number one contender for that title for how long, Coach? 2 years, almost a year.
It's almost 3 years, brother.
And here we are, the year 2025, and we're still asking if that fight will ever happen. But listen, I don't think it's you guys. You guys have moved on. You are, and shout out to you, David, for not waiting around for the girlfriend that didn't want to go on a date, right? You went out and you found a new girlfriend, right? That wanted to go out to
Want to
dance.
go dance, yeah, and
Absolutely.
we had a great dance.
You had a great dance, and you got a lot of future great dances ahead of you, man. So I'm glad to hear that you are going to be in Riyadh February 22nd. That's a good thing. That means that hopefully you're next in line for the winner. I know you're on vacation, Coach. So I don't want to keep you I don't want to keep you any longer. You deserve it.
I'm
I'm
always
only mad.
working. I'm always working. Always
I'm
working,
only
man.
you deserve that vacation. I'm only mad that you didn't take me with you, man. I love
Thank
Puerto
you.
Rico, man.
Thank you. Beautiful, man. I just got here. The little things that I see here, man. I'm next to the ocean here. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. The vibe is different.
Oh, you're gonna be great. You're gonna have a
Thank you.
great time. You're
Thank you,
gonna have a
guys.
great
Thank you.
time.
Thank you
Coach,
so
thank
much.
you for jumping on with me. I appreciate you, my
Thank
friend.
you. 100%.
You're always welcome. You know that. So there you have it. We got head trainer Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of the Mexican Monster, and trainer David Benavidez. And you heard it. I mean, you heard it from him, right? I mean, they will take a Canelo fight if it's offered, but will Canelo want that smoke? That's the problem. Canelo doesn't want that smoke, man. And I don't know why. This dude willing to fight Jake Paul. I mean, listen, and this is no knock on Jake Paul, but let's not forget a couple years ago, Canelo was pretty adamant when people were asking him about Jake Paul, like, and he was basically telling people, like, are you serious? Come on, me fight Jake Paul? And now here we are. And it's being reported by Mike Coppinger from ESPN and Eddie Hearn, it's being reported by Eddie Hearn that that Jake Paul against Canelo is a done deal for May in Vegas, probably. Will it happen? Don't know. Again, in boxing, nothing is ever a done deal until you see these guys at a press conference and sometimes at a face-off, because negotiations can fall apart really, really quick in the boxing world as a result to what happened basically yesterday night. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at social media, scrolling through my articles, and boom, the Ring magazine puts out in an IG post that said Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fight is now off. And this is Ring magazine actually put out an IG post about 2 or 3 days ago saying that it was basically a done deal for September. Allegiant Stadium, that's where the Las Vegas Raiders play. So that'd be the first fight in that stadium, a football stadium. Las Vegas, September, Mexican Independence Weekend. It was on. People were buzzing about it. It's a fight that's grown on me. And now all of a sudden, within 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it's been, it is now off. And when I saw that, I was like, damn. The business of boxing rears its ugly head again. I mean, this is boxing. And this is why people tell me, like, why can't you be optimistic? Or why can't you be more excited when some of these fights that are rumored, are announced that they're going to take place? This is the reason why. I'm scarred, dude. You know how many times I've gotten excited about a fight that doesn't happen? It's crazy. It's just it's insane. It's insane. So couple years ago, don't get me wrong, a couple years ago, I don't know when it was. It might have been around right after the fight between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, when Bud was talking about wanting to go up and face Canelo. I was like, nah, don't do that, Bud. I mean, this dude's at 168, you're at 147. Granted, after that, he moved up to 154 to fight Madrimov. But I was like, don't do that, man. There's no reason for it, man. There's weight classes in boxing for a reason. So I was like, nah, that ain't going to happen. And I'm not happy about it. And then people were talking to Canelo about it. And they were asking him. And a couple years ago, or whenever it was, that this started to surface, he was shutting it down because he was like, it's a no-win situation for me. You feel me? He's too small. If I beat him, they're gonna say I beat up on a small guy. And God forbid if Terence would have beat him, right? So it didn't really look like Canelo was interested in that fight. Again, there's weight classes in boxing for a reason. Now you fast forward to 2025, Turki Al-Sheikh gets involved. Terence Crawford does not let that Canelo dream go. And trust me when I tell you, I spoke to Terence Crawford himself at Pro Box. He was pretty clear. He wants Canelo. And that was right before Canelo Berlanga. It was about a week before the Canelo Berlanga fight. And I asked him about it, like, what you think is going to happen next week, champ? And he looked at me like, come on, man. You know Canelo's going to win. And I was like, and what's next? He was like, dude, we want that fight. So, he hasn't let go of that. He's trying to chase greatness. A lot of people will say, a lot of people are going to say he's trying to chase that bag before he retires. Regardless, it is a big step up in class. A guy that is 2 weight classes bigger than him, a natural 168. But it's big. But it grew on me. It's grown on me the last couple months that it's been rumored. And then when I finally heard about it, I'm like, all right, I could rock with this fight. And I'm probably going to hit it up in Vegas. So I was excited. And then all of a sudden, last night, we hear that it's canceled. Like, I don't know what's going on or why it was canceled. Again, I'm thinking all these conspiracy theories, right? Well, are they canceling it? Maybe Turki Al-Sheikh wants to do a David fight instead in September. I don't know. I mean, it can't be a money thing. I do know that it's going to be promoted by a bunch of different promotion companies. You got PBC that'll probably be involved in that, or Matchroom and Riyadh and Canelo Promotions. I mean, nowadays, all these fighters have their own promotion company, so there's going to be a lot of different nuances. But when Turki Al-Sheikh waves the magic wand, which is the bag,
Straight cash, homie.
you already know the deal. Shit happens. He makes shit happen. He's the dude that makes shit happen. That's why I think he's good for boxing. Shout out to my man Turkey. So I don't know what happened. Could it be because of the rumors that Mr. Jake Paul is going to be next in line? Now, they are saying that Canelo was going to sign a 3-fight deal with Turkey, but this May fight, whoever is that he was going to fight in May, because Canelo fights twice a year. He fights in May, Cinco de Mayo weekend, and he fights in September, Mexican Independence weekend. Who was going to be that May opponent? Nobody thought it'd be Jake, but again, Eddie Hearn on social media, you can look it up. Now it's going to be Jake Paul. And I got to be honest, I don't know how to feel about that, man. Like I said, I mean, listen, man, you gotta give a shout out to Jake Paul, man. Listen, I mean, I've said on prior videos that I'm like, listen, I respect the business acumen of Jake Paul. I think as a businessman, what he's doing in the sport of boxing is nothing short of incredible. Straight up. I mean, Most Valuable Promotions, and shout out to Most Valuable Promotions, man. They actually tagged one of my shorts of the interview I did with Alexis Chop Chaparro, the middleweight prospect, 3-0, 3 knockouts. He's managed by the great Amanda Serrano. I interviewed him last week. They clipped a short, and put it on a reel on their IG platform, on their TikTok platform, on their Twitter platform, and obviously they tagged me and gave me credit for it. So shout out to MVP Promotions for showing a brother love. I mean, that was totally unexpected. I woke up to that, but I was like, damn. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a bomb for them, man. So you got to give him credit for his business acumen. But and I've said it, like, Jake, what do you want to do? You want to be the Jake Paul that is going to make a bag fighting MMA fighters, fighting washed up fighters, fighting 58-year-old legends, fighting basketball players. Like, you want to be that guy, then I'm okay with it. Then I know what to expect during one of your events, right? Or do you want to be a contender? Because after every fight, he says he wants to be a champion, right? He's been calling out Canelo for years, man, and people have been laughing at him. He's been calling out Canelo for years, and people have been laughing at this cat. So I'm like, if you want to be a contender, then my man, you got to start fighting real fighters, top 20, top 25 contenders. See if maybe you can beat a few of those guys and show enough improvement that people will think that maybe you'd be ready for some kind of title. God knows there's a million belts in boxing. But again, you don't know what to expect because he says he wants to fight Canelo, he wants to be a champion, but then, he'll announce that he's fighting, I don't know, Evander Holyfield next. So which one is it? So shout out to him because he's been calling out Canelo. And right now, if he gets that fight, shit, regardless of what people think is going to happen to him, he got the fight. He skipped the line. He got a fight with Canelo before David Benavidez. That's nasty work, bro.
This is nasty.
Nasty. But you can't knock the hustle. It's nasty in boxing, but in business, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? So that's why I always give him props. So is that what caused that Crawford thing to fall apart? I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some more context in the next few days and next week. And again, I wouldn't panic. True boxing fans, I wouldn't really panic yet. Again, this fight was scheduled with Bud Crawford in September. We're in February, the beginning of February. So there's plenty of time. It's not like, this fight was locked and loaded and here we are in the middle of July and it's canceled. Then you could pretty much say it's a done deal. It ain't happening. But there's plenty of time to get back on the negotiation table and make that happen. But if they don't, man, what's up with my man Benavidez, man? Let's get that popping. You saw Senior say he's willing to go down to 168. I wouldn't agree with that because I think that would be an advantage to Canelo. I'm never, ever going to side with a fighter that moves up in weight and then moves back down for a big fight. Like they'll do it. Fighters say that it's not an issue, but it is an issue. Fluctuating weight between divisions is not a wise idea. I'm telling you, it's not a wise idea. But I mean, he's going to do it because that's the fight that he wanted. He's been wanted that fight. So shout out to David, man. Oops, my bad. Little technical difficulties right now. But what's up? What we got in the chat, man? Who's rocking with me? We got my man Z Pacino, the boxing voices in the building. What's going on, champ? Thanks for rocking out, man. We got El Pinchi Arriba de Bandera Roja. That's right. David Benavidez, his father, David Jose Benavidez Sr. was in the building. Again, man, hope you guys enjoyed that interview. I didn't want to keep him really, really too long. I probably had him on a little bit longer than I expected, close to a half hour, because he's on vacation right now. And it's a well-deserved vacation. He's had a busy month, man. He had Diego Pacheco cooked. I mean, David cooked. Jose Jr. cooked. Daniel Blancas cooked. He had a female fighter that cooked. Clean sweep for him on over the weekend. The only fighter that he had that lost recently was Omar Salcido. Shout out to Omar, man. He's a good guy. Young Mexican warrior. He lost to Andy Cruz, a few weeks back. Valiant performance. Went the distance. He's got a bright future. That was probably his only blemish of 2025. And like I told him, if the year ended right now, he'd probably be trainer of the year. No cap. For real. Bang Bang Boogie, what's up? I read that. And I want to apologize, Bang Bang. I saw your message. If I was going to read the chats out loud, I was just locked in with Jose Sr., man. Usually I like to get my chat involved. So my bad on that. Wax, you already know how we do it up, bro. Saludos. We read that. Canelo's path is interesting. Wax, who you telling? Who you telling, bro? Like, I don't even know what's on this dude's mind. But again, this is what his fans will tell you. Canelo's earned that right to pick and choose his opponents. He's earned that right to be today's modern-day Floyd Mayweather. Nah, bro. I don't see that. I will never, ever be a fan of well, he's earned his right. Now, if you put together a Hall of Fame career and you're calling it quits and it's your last fight, yeah, you know what? You've earned that right. Pick that last fight and go out on your own terms. But if you're still in your prime,
bruh,
Nah, you got to fight the best guys out there, especially if you got straps. Your job as a champion is to defend the titles. That's your job as a champion. And if you don't want to do that and you want to pick and choose, then give up the belts. Relinquish the straps and let these dudes fight for the straps. David Benavidez is fighting for legacy, bro. He wants to be the best. So shout out to him, man. For real. My sister, Superwoman 607, is in the building. Appreciate you rocking out, sis. She always rocking out with me, man. Tell Jose Pepe Ping didn't pay his bet and Mayo Zacatecas. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Who didn't pay their bet? You got to give me a little bit more dialogue, man. El Mayo, give me a little bit more dialogue, man. Who didn't pay their bet? Again, bang, bang. My bad, but, I was locked and loaded, man. But I show y'all love, man. I like to get y'all involved, man. Coach is doing great work. Absolutely. Eric Harris, thanks for rocking out. I read that one earlier, and I read it while David's father, Jose Sr., was live. Gotta love the trash talking fighters. Makes it so exciting to watch. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't rock with these nice guys that want to be all cordial at press conferences and be all respectful. Meanwhile, deep down inside, you want to knock that other dude's head off. Like, nah, bro, that's whack, bro. Show some emotion, talk trash. Then after the fight, I have no issue with you showing each other respect, hugging it out. Two warriors, who finished the fight on their 2 feet, made money together doing it. There's nothing more beautiful than that. You show that man respect. You saw Jose Sr. showing David Morrell a ton of respect. He said, listen, if the opportunity would present himself, he would train him. And I don't blame him, man. David Morrell put up a hell of a fight. I had him getting stopped. In the 10th round between 8 and 10. And he put up a hell of a fight. He was taking a lot of leather, bro. I thought he fought well, man. So disappointed when they called it off, man. It was, I was disappointed too, man. I didn't think Wax, like I mentioned earlier, man, I didn't really care for this fight 2 years ago because I was like, here we go. This guy moving up in weight. Canelo's a 68, best fighter in the world, pound for pound, or one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. My thing with Bud is it's not skill. Bud has the skill to hang with Canelo. It's the weight and the punch resistance. Is he going to be able to take Canelo's shot? Like that shot that Canelo hit Berlanga with, that left hand that Berlanga got knocked down with and got right back up. Will Bud get up from that shot? That's my question. That's my only question. But skill-wise, you can't count Bud out. And plus, he's super competitive. Like, Bud is one of the most competitive people. Like, you see Bud, at a boxing event and you'll challenge him to see who can spit farther. And he'll challenge you and he'll try to spit farther than you. He's that type of dude, bro. I kid you not. Yes, sir. I saw that clip of you and Chop on Insta. Yeah, man. Shout out to Most Valuable Promotions, man, for showing me love, man, for clipping a piece of that interview with Chop, man. For real. We're going to get another one of their fighters on next week. I'll make sure I let y'all know before we tap out. But we ain't going nowhere anytime soon. And make sure if you are watching this live on YouTube, you smash that like button. We trying to get this channel in the algorithm of other boxing fans so that they know we rock out every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes even Wednesdays. This is how we do it up at the Hangout spot. If you haven't told a friend if you haven't told a friend to subscribe and you haven't told that friend to tell another friend to subscribe, shame on you, man. Come on, man. This is how we rock. We family, man. We got to turn this train into a locomotive in 2025, man. Big things coming, man. Mark my words. Four Corners Boxing, my man X is in the building. It's about to go down. Well, there's a bunch of things that are going down. I'm not happy with some of them, but I'm a boxing fan. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't knock Jake Paul at all. He's putting eyes on the sport. That shit, whether you like it or not, is going to sell. There's rumors, right? Like I said, I just saw a report or a post by Mike Coppinger. My biggest thing with that Canelo-Jake fight, how would that even happen? Like, people forget that Jake Paul was like 240 pounds when he fought Mike Tyson. Canelo's 168, a small 168 at that. Where do they meet in the middle? Like at this point in his life, 28 years old, can Jake Paul lose 50 pounds by May? If it happens by May, that'd be crazy, bro. But I guess money talks. But right now, Coppinger's saying that they're trying to put a deal in place for a no more than 200-pound limit. Meaning Canelo can come in at whatever weight, 175, 180. Jake Paul has to go down to 200. So maybe that's possible. We'll see. Jake's a big boy, man. I've seen videos of him training, man. He look like he walks around at 240, 250 pounds. So we'll see. But I mean, listen, whether people like it or not, it's going to sell. They talking about Netflix. You saw what Jake did with Mike Tyson. 58-year-old Mike Tyson. You saw what he did. They damn near broke Netflix. We were doing a live fight chat on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to my brother Nestor Gibbs. Shout out to my brother Two-Tone, the superstar. We did a live fight chat and all of our streams crashed at some point or another. And we were all in different parts of the country. Ness was in Vegas. Two-Tone was in Arizona. I'm in Florida. I think we had a dude up in there that jumped in that was from the Northeast. I forget. Yeah, it was Marco Boxing. Shout out to Marco Boxing. He was up in there. He lives in the Northeast. We all crashed. Jake Paul broke Netflix. This shit streamed in over 60 million homes. Imagine what it would do with Canelo. That shit crazy, man. So whether you like it or not, it's gonna sell. We can't hate on it, man. Anything that any fighter does that puts more eyes on the sport of boxing and helps grow the sport, I'm all for. Eric Harris, thank you for rocking out, my brother. Thank you for rocking out with me today, man. This is how we do it up at the Hangout spot, man. Great interview. Bang, bang. You already know, bro. You know how we do it up. And thank you for rocking out, man. Again, apologize that I didn't get your question in there earlier, but just know my chat, y'all family. So any way I can get y'all involved, you know I'm gonna get y'all involved. Just gotta hang tight. Sometimes I'm a little focused, you know, on the person I'm interviewing, and I don't want to kind of break up momentum and rhythm. I'm all about rhythm and letting them talk, you know, because at the end of the day, my viewers tune in to watch my people, the people that I interview. Y'all, they want to hear them. They don't want to hear me. Right now, y'all hearing me. But you know, they want to hear the people that I interview. Eddie Alvarez, my brother. Listen, man, never late, man. You're here now. You're here now. But if you did not see, you know, the interview with Jose Benavidez Sr., which I did in the first half of the show, make sure you check out the recording after this. All my live shows right after that go right on YouTube so that people that don't watch or aren't watching live, and shame on them, they will see the recording. And I think that was a banging interview. So make sure you check that out, Eddie. I know you'll enjoy it. You think Benavidez and Berlanga happens? Don't know. Don't know. I know that David Benavidez will take that fight. They've had words before. I know Berlanga has said a lot of things about David Benavidez, and Berlanga can easily move up to 175. Berlanga's a big guy. And shout out to Edgar, man. And hopefully we'll get a fight announcement soon, man. If you're listening to this, Edgar, my brother, yo, what's up? We need that announcement, man. We need you back in the ring. I'm trying to hit that fight up. But it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Always love. That's right. Tell a friend and share the live. That's right. After it's all said and done, don't, you know, take the link, man. Share it, man. You know, share it. Wax, I hope Edgar is fighting Skull next. Absolutely. That would be dope. That would be for the IBF strap, if I'm not mistaken, man. But I don't know, man. You know, supposedly, you know, Edgar was supposed to make his Puerto Rico debut in March. I don't know if that's going to happen because here we are, man. We're in the first week of February. We haven't heard anything about a fight being announced. So, you know, with promotion, you know, selling tickets, I don't know if you could do that in a month. So I'm thinking that may not happen. But again, I ain't got no inside scoop right now. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you, unfortunately, because that's how I roll. And that's why people, you know, out there, they trust me. There's a lot of things that I do find out before it's made public, man. But I can't be that dude, man. I wouldn't be a professional if I was that dude. But make sure you guys subscribe. We got a couple more things that I want to go over before we call this a Rizzy. And some more news. We got some more news. that I want to share with you guys. But again, if you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. Nope, that is the wrong slide. Give me 1 segundo. We got Eric Harris that said Belonga don't want no parts of David. Hey, could be, could not be. I don't know, man. I can't call that. When I saw Belonga and Kissimmee, he said, if I touch Skull, it's over. Now, listen, I did an interview with Edgar, a live interview in Orlando Boxing Club. Shout out to Orlando Boxing Club. And they always showing me love. KO Fitness Gym in Miami. Shout out to y'all. Winter Haven Boxing, 15 minutes from my house. Coach Marco Fazzini, always showing me love. Shout out to them as well. Obviously, I'm always going to represent my people who show me love. That's how I roll. But I interviewed Edgar right before the Pablo Valdez fight at Pro Box that went down in Kissimmee about a few days before that. And I asked him to give me his top 5 lists of people that he wanted to fight if he could play promoter. Number 1 on the list was Skull. He said he wanted to fuck Skull up. I don't know why. I guess there was some words that went back and forth on social media. You know how these guys do on social media. And he said that he wanted to fuck Skull up. Obviously, Skull has an IBF title. He mentioned wanting Charlo, Munguia, Plant, and he made me laugh when he said this, but he said he wanted to fight Jake Paul too. So shout out to Edgar, man. I'm telling you, man, everybody want that Jake Paul bag, man. I mean, you guys to give the man his props, man. He is doing it up, man. But we got some more news this week that I wanted to break out to you guys just to keep you in the loop. You got Ryan Garcia. His father has said that he is going to return back to Eddie Reynoso, Team Canelo. If you remember, Ryan used to be trained by Eddie Reynoso. He split. There were a lot of stories that were coming from both camps, from Canelo's camp, saying that Ryan was lazy. And then there were, reports from Ryan's camp that was saying that, he just didn't want to show other fighters, the type of love, that he shows Canelo. I mean, Canelo's his guy. That's his cash cow. I mean, that's their family. So Canelo, it's no surprise that Canelo is going to get top priority. You're going to prioritize all your fighters. Canelo's top on the list. I mean, that goes without being said. If you want to go train with Eddie Reynoso, you have to know that coming in. But again, you know how Ryan go. Ryan in his own mind is the face of boxing, a superstar. I mean, he'd probably tell you that. If I interviewed him and I asked him that question, I'm sure he'd probably tell me he thinks he is, right? And so he split. He was being trained by Derek James. I thought Derek did a good job with him, except for the last camp before the fight. I mean, when Ryan was crashing out, it was almost like what am I going to do about that? But during the fight, again, you saw the performance that Ryan put on against Devin, and that was with Derek James in his corner. I mean, the best performance of his career. I mean, he cooked Devin. Granted, the whole Ostering thing, won't get into that right now, but he did his thing. So Ryan got gifts, man. If he decides to take it serious, man, and just focus on just boxing, who knows what Eddie Reynoso could turn him into. I thought that was a good pair, him and Reynoso. When he left Reynoso, I thought it was a mistake. So I think that getting back with Eddie is a good idea. He's going to be, in the camp with Canelo again. That's never a bad thing. And if you really look at Eddie Reynoso's stable right now, it's absolutely insane. Like, dude, look at it. He just got Teofimo Lopez. I mean, just got Teofimo Lopez. Oscar Valdez is in that stable. I mean, Frank Sanchez, a heavyweight. Julio Cesar Martinez. Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is now being trained by Eddie Reynoso. Like, that's crazy. His stable is insane. I wonder how he's going to manage all these, like, finding time to train all these dudes, man, because like I said, I mean, he's going to have to put in some work. But, a lot of people are, saying, Eddie Reynoso is highly regarded, one of the best trainers in boxing. One of the best trainers in boxing. So, when you got a stable like this, man, it's crazy. So shout out to Ryan. I think this is step one in trying to to be that guy that I just said he should be, right? Just serious. Focus on trying to become a world champion. Hone your skills. You're still young. You know what I mean? So this is a good move for Ryan. And then breaking news. Regis Prograis was supposed to be fighting Oscar Duarte in less than a week and a half? February 15th in Anaheim, California. I thought that was going to be a really good fight for Regis. Oscar Duarte, you know the deal. One of the hardest hitters in boxing. I interviewed Jojo Diaz. Shout out to Joseph Jojo Diaz, man. He's my guy. I interviewed him and he said without hesitation when I asked him who his toughest fight was, he said Oscar Duarte because he hit. The hardest he's ever been hit was by Oscar Duarte. But now you got Miguel Madueno who's stepping in to replace him on short notice. So again, this is a replacement, a late replacement. I mean, 10 days away, 11 days away, whatever it is, February 15th. And this guy steps in. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's 31-3, 28 knockouts. He is coming off of that. So he lost to Keyshawn Davis in a very ugly, rugged fight. Keyshawn Davis got a lot of slack for that. And then he went out and he just cooked in his next fight, Gustavo Lemos in his hometown in Virginia. So people forget about that performance. But a lot of people were shitting on that fight because even though Keyshawn Davis won that fight by decision, Madueno's the type of fight that's gonna make it ugly. He's a mauler in the inside. He's I wouldn't say he's dirty, but he's gonna make the fight ugly. He's gonna take you into the trenches. He's gonna force you to have to fight a different type of fight. And that's what Keyshawn was doing that entire fight. Shout out to Keyshawn. I thought he won the fight. But but again, this is the type of guy that's gonna be in your face. He's gonna be holding, he's gonna be hitting, anything that he could possibly do, to kind of maul you in the ring. He's had success. So he steps in on short notice to fight Oscar Duarte. And then, and shout out to the Ring Magazine, man. All these posts I'm getting is from the Ring Magazine IG page. I mean, they are all over it. Ever since Turkey Al-Sheikh bought the Ring Magazine, I mean, they doing it up, man. If you have not subscribed to the Ring Magazine, maybe you should think about doing it, man, because there's a lot of up-to-date information that they post on their website. Obviously, they still have the magazine. If you subscribe, you can subscribe for the digital version of the magazine or even the hard copy. I don't know what the differences in prices are. But the Ring Magazine is back, bro. The Ring Magazine is back. But they doing it up. They doing it up. So I get these directly, from the Ring Magazine. So I definitely want to give them their credit. Shout out to my guy Miles Austin. He is in the building. Salute, champ. Appreciate you rocking out with me, man. The Boxing Voice, my Boxing Voice family is always there to represent and hold me down. I appreciate y'all, man. My man, Wayne Rose, more amazing, one-of-a-kind content. My man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Definitely, man. And my brother, Fight Hook News, Jay Calderon, he is in the building. We need that Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr. rescheduled. Yeah, man, I would have preferred that, but they're going with Madueno, is what the Ring Magazine is reporting. An ugly fight on paper, like I said. Madueno is the type of dude that he's gonna try to make it muddy. He's gonna try to take you into deep waters. But what can you expect on 10 days' notice? Shout out to Duarte, right? He's not walking away. He is the main event in California. He wants the show to go on. And that's what I'm talking about. But Jay Calderon, if you missed it, I had Jose Benavidez Sr. on earlier. Great interview. So make sure you check out the recording after that. It will be live. It will be on the Hangout spot. If you guys have not, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure you do that. And let's go. Let's keep the chat going. And last but not least, Naoya Inoue, the monster. It is being rumored that his next fight date will be in June the 14th in Las Vegas against David Picasso, Mexican, who's undefeated actually, 30-0, 1 draw, 17 knockouts. He's actually I haven't seen a lot of him. I got to do a little bit of film study on this guy. I did look him up on BoxRec. Not really a lot of familiar names. But you know how these guys do. They fight a lot in Mexico, build their record up. And he's the number one contender for the WBC strap, from what I saw. So he's going to be fighting against the monster, Naoya Inoue, obviously undisputed junior featherweight champion, coming off a knockout win over a guy who took a fight on short notice, Kim, I believe his last name was. And Naoya Inoue is that guy. He's the monster. Another dude that does a great job of carrying out his nickname. There are very few like that. I mean, I told Jose Sr., the Mexican monster. I mean, David Benavidez is a monster. Pitbull Cruz, he's a pit bull, man. He's a dog. He's a dog. The monster Inoue, come on, man. Like my man, the Maniac, was said, man. He's Area 51, man. He belongs on another planet. I mean, it's sad when people don't give him his props, man, because he just doesn't have those well-known names on his resume. He's knocked off everybody in 2 different divisions to be undisputed. Only 3 guys have done that. Him, Usyk, and Bud. So give him his props, man. A lot of people are saying, Eddie Hearn included. I had a debate with Nestor Gibbs on the Boxing Voice over this on one of the evening shows a couple weeks ago when Eddie Hearn was saying that they needed to take Inoue off the pound-for-pound list. Nah, bro, that's cap. Cap. Like the young guys say. Hell no. Hell no. Now, if you want to take him off number 1, I get it. I mean, I think number 1 pound for pound belongs to Usyk. A lot of people are going to put Crawford at number 2. I'm okay with that. Maybe Canelo at 3. But to me, Inoue deserves to be at least top 5, 6. No lower than that. That's just my opinion. I'm a big fan of his. There aren't many people that I will wake up for at 5 o'clock in the morning, because trust me, I am not an early dude, bro. I am a late person. When people want me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, hell no. Unless it's for work, nah, hell no. But I'll wake up to watch Inoue, man, because like I said, I think, he's a special talent. He's undefeated. His next victory will get him at 30-0 if he's able to do that. 26 knockouts, 27 if he gets a stoppage. And yeah, man, I mean, I agree with you, Jay. I mean, big step up for Picasso with a padded record we won Inoue versus MJ. Yep. And I think Eddie Hearn wants that too. And that was the reason why Eddie Hearn threw that shade at Inoue. Akhmadaliev, I mean, he's trying to get that fight. So he's throwing hella shade at Inoue so he can get that fight. Don't matter. I think Inoue cooks him anyway. I mean, I don't think Inoue will be challenged until he moves up to 126 against some bigger guys. There's some really, really good fights for him at 126. Obviously, Top Rank is trying to maybe build a fight between him and my man Shushu Carrington, Bruce Carrington. Shout out to Shushu Carrington. So that's a future fight. You got Angelo Leo up there that's got the IBF strap, Stephen Fulton. Now, I know he beat Stephen Fulton already. In fact, he cooked Stephen Fulton. That fight was the reason why I wasn't picking Stephen Fulton, man, because to me, Stephen Fulton, and shout out to Scooter, I mean, listen, I'm not afraid to say, man, I'm not afraid to say that I had to eat crow. I had Stephen Fulton losing to Brandon Figueroa because I just didn't think he was the same fighter after that Inoue fight, especially the last fight against Carlos Castro, which he barely pulled out. But shout out to Scooter, man. Hell of a performance. Me and Black Sugar Sims, Anthony Sims Jr., we broke it down on Tuesday. Make sure y'all check that out if y'all haven't. But you know what? I'm going to eat crow again. That's how we do it up here. We keep it real. But a lot of big fights. I think that's where you're finally going to see some challenges because you got bigger guys. Best fight at 126 for Inoue is Rafael Espinoza. Wow, that would be crazy. Absolutely. But Rafael Espinoza at that division is a unicorn, man. He will tower over Inoue. What is he, like 6'1"? So, yeah. And shout out to Fight Hook News, who's in the building, working, finding time to come hang out with your boy here live. I appreciate you, my brother. That would be a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. So those are the guys that I think that are going to challenge Inoue. I don't really see anybody at the lower weight classes as super bantam. I mean, there's obviously a fight that hardcore boxing fans would want to see. I know my brother, the Maniac from Four Corners Boxing, wants to see this. He wants to see Inoue against Junto Nakatani. And that fight would be fire. I think it would be huge in Japan. But Nakatani, who has a fight coming up, I think he'd have to move up. He's a bantam now. He'd have to move up. Possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I would love to see that fight as well. But that's probably the only fight at the lower weight classes that I think would technically challenge in a way. Now, a lot of people are going to say Bam Rodriguez, but Bam Rodriguez is just so much more smaller. He'd have to climb up, 2 divisions. Bam Rodriguez is a super flyweight, dude. So I don't know if that fight ever happens. It would be a dream fight. Obviously, a dream fight for casuals would be Inoue against Tank. I don't see that fight happening either. I mean, he'd have to move up to 135 so I don't see that fight. I'd prefer that Tank fight Shakur, T.O. Those are the guys I want to see Tank fight. We got Lamont Roach coming up on March 1st. The Hangout spot will be in the building. I wasn't happy about that fight, and it had nothing to do with Lamont Roach. He's a hell of a fighter. Great guy. I met him at Pro Box. I interviewed his younger brother, Jordan, who's now 3-0 as a professional. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out at the Hangout spot. And if you have seen it, tell a friend to check it out. But and he showed me love, man. We talked for a little bit. I mean, like I said, I don't knock him, and I'm rooting for him. I just think that I'm tired of seeing this Tank, fighting smaller guys or having guys move up to fight him. I mean, Tank is at 135, but he arguably hits like a welterweight. I don't think that's debatable. Go get that smoke with my man Tito Mercado, bro. He calling you out. Check out my show when I had Tito on. Tito wants that smoke. But who knows? Who knows what Tank is going to do? We'll see. We'll see what he does March 1st, and we'll see if he retires. Remember, he mentioned during the first press conference that he wants to call it a wrap after 2025, like 3 more fights or 2 after the Lamont Roach fight. He's calling it a wrap. Like he's done. He wants to live a normal life, raise kids. The mental part of boxing isn't for him. So we'll see. I mean, I think that'd be a mistake. I still think Tank is the cash cow. One of the biggest money draw. He's one of the biggest draws in boxing, and there's a lot of great fights out there for him, including this one. Absolutely, Eric Harris. I would love to see Keyshawn Davis get that smoke. And shout out to Keyshawn Davis, because next week, make sure y'all tune in next week, because we're gonna be breaking down that fight card. That is next Friday, if I'm not mistaken, man. February 14th, New York City. You got Keyshawn Davis that is going for his first world title against Denis Berinchyk, guy who beat Rafael Espinoza, tough Ukrainian guy. That's going to be a banger. It's not going to be an easy night in the office for Keyshawn, but if Keyshawn is that dude, like most people think he is, which I think he is, then he should be a world champion when he wakes up Saturday morning, the 15th. And again, this is not to discredit Berinchyk. It's going to be tough. But, Keyshawn, in my opinion, has the skills to be a special fighter. And he wants that smoke. He's called out Tank. He's called out Tio. So I think things will get a lot interesting if he's able to get that strap. That's another reason why I want him to win. Because if he gets that strap, then things get saucy, man. Then shit gets spicy, man. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, man. So, yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of good fights for Tank Davis at his own weight class. He doesn't need to fight, junior lightweights. But anyway, shout out to Lamont for taking that challenge, trying to be great. I'm rooting for you, champ. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is boxing. Did I get that wrong? He beat Navarrete. Okay, my bad. I think I got that wrong. Yeah, I got that wrong. My bad. Thanks for the correction, Jay. I usually make 1 or 2 of these a show. It's live. I'm human. But yeah, Berinchyk beat Navarrete because Navarrete was moving up a weight class, right? I think Navarrete went back down and just recently fought Valdez. So that's what happened there. Again, Berinchyk showed me a lot in that fight against a very, very awkward, taller fighter who throws punches and bunches from all different angles. He kept his composure. He boxed well. So it's not going to be an easy night in the office for Keyshawn. It's a big step up, but this is boxing, dude. This is boxing. Just like Floyd Schofield, shout out to him, taking that challenge this young in his career against Shakur Stevenson on February 22nd. That's going to be gangster, that fight card, man. I cannot wait. And the best thing about it, $26. That's what your man Turkey Al-Sheikh is giving us, man. Great fights, but $26. Like, how could you even think about stealing that, bro? Look at this card. I mean, any one of these fights could be main events on separate cards. Nuts. Absolutely insane. I'm not getting into this card right now because again, we're saving that for future shows. But I'm excited, man. Like I said, boxing, is gonna take off. I think 2025 is gonna be that year, man. Chushu not ready. Nick Ball, Angelo Leo, and Fulton all get washed up. Only Espinoza causes difficult problems at 126. Quite possible. I'd probably give Chushu another fight or two before I put him in there against Inoue. I'm not really mad at that. Nick Ball, yeah. I think that Inoue has a really good shot to beat Nick Ball. Angelo Leo, that would be interesting. Fulton, don't know if Fulton would prefer to take that rematch at now as the champion. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I just think styles make fights. Inoue is a special talent, man. I don't care where he's from or where he fights, but at least we're probably going to see him in the United States. And he's fought in the U.S. before. I mean, the last time he fought out here was in 2021. It was in June of 2021, third round knockout. Before that, he fought October of 2020. That was the night that he knocked out Jason Maloney. So he's fought in Vegas a couple of times, but after that, it's been strictly in his country where he's probably like Michael Jordan. He's an icon out there. I mean, he's the biggest draw, and in the country. So, but we want to see him in the U.S. because there's still a lot of fight fans that sleep on him, that doubt his skills or don't give him the credit that he deserves. And I think that the spotlight of Las Vegas, United States, is what he needs. So I'm glad that we're finally going to see him in the U.S. Hopefully, if those reports are true, we'll see him in the U.S. unless that gets canceled, because you already know how it is. I mean, Terence Crawford and Canelo, that was just nasty work. But anyhow, man, yeah, man, great show. I appreciate all of y'all rocking out with me. That was the news. Great interview with Jose Sr. And we look forward to another good weekend of boxing. We got Pro Box on Saturday from San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to my Pro Box family. Always showing them love. I'm not hitting this one because I'm not flying to Texas, but I told y'all Pro Box is taking their show on the road this year, man. 2025 is not going to be solely from Plant City or Kissimmee. They looking to do shows all over the United States and overseas, UK. And I get this from inside information. They ain't playing, man. Pro Box is looking to take their game to the next level. It'd be interesting to see where Pro Box is in 5 years. They're going to be a heavy hitter. If I had to predict, I'm telling you, stick with Pro Box. If you haven't checked out a Pro Box card, make sure you check it out. It don't even matter if you don't know the names. They pit 50-50 fights. Guys that are going to fight each other. They do not sign guys that are going to go into the ring and run. They want guys that are going to go in there. They're going to entertain the crowd. It's going to be more than likely a 50-50 fight. And in the process, the people that win are us, the fans. I can't even say that enough. So we got Pro Box this weekend. And then again, next weekend, we got Keyshawn Davis, Baranchek, title fight. Xander Zayas will be on the card. I mean, you know how I feel about Xander. Up-and-coming star, I believe. The next up-and-coming Puerto Rican star. He's ready, man. He's ready to take his game to the next level in 2025. He'll be on the card. A lot of other exciting fighters. Abdullah Mason Willips will be on the card as well. Exciting young. I wouldn't even call him a prospect anymore. A lot of people are calling him a prospect. Maybe he is a prospect. But he's about ready to start graduating towards contender status this year. So if he is a prospect, I don't expect him to be one after this fight or maybe after the next fight. I mean, he's just a skillful fighter who's must-see TV. So that card is going to be dope from ESPN. Saturday, again, you got Oscar Duarte against Medueno. And then the week after that, February 22nd, that Riyadh card that we just put up, we're going to be breaking that down the week after next. But Tuesday show, make sure you mark your calendars because right now I'm looking at possibly getting in undefeated lightweight Lucas Prince Body from Most Valuable Promotions. Just signed a new deal with Most Valuable Promotions. He's 17-0 with 15 knockouts. Arguably knockout of the year last year against Ashton H2O Sill. They just announced that he was going to headline a card in Canada, an MVP Most Valuable Prospects card in Canada. He's headlining that. So I reached out to him. We're trying to coordinate it so I could get him in the building on Tuesday night show so we could talk about his upcoming fight and obviously his future and what led him to Most Valuable Promotions and Jake Paul, man. You saw Chop Paul last week talk about Most Valuable Promotions. He said nobody's doing it better than them, right? And shout out to them for putting me on a reel today and giving me the credit for it. Appreciate y'all. But I don't think there's a question they're not doing it any bigger than anybody else, especially if this dude Jake gets that Canelo fight. That's going to be crazy, man. So once I hear more of that stuff, I will make sure that I let you guys know. If you're not following me on IG, make sure you follow me on IG at the Hangout Spot. That's where I put all my updates, my stories, my shorts, reels, future guest links, so that you could just log in. I mean, you could get right into my lives right from the link on my stories. So make sure you're following me. I'm on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm on there as well. I don't post that much on there, but I'm on there as well. And obviously, you already know the deal on YouTube. This is the Hangout Spot. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Last minute thoughts from my loyal viewers, man, that I appreciate. Parker for the win. That's going to be big time, man. Dubois and Parker, man, they're going to cook up. I'm telling you, that card is going to be absolutely insane. Make sure y'all pay for that. $26, man. We ain't trying to bring them fire sticks out, man. We got to show Turkey some love, man. ProBox always delivers. Wax, you are on point. Never, ever a disappointing night of boxing when you watch ProBox. What's up with Oficial? That's my guy. What up? Not sure, man. Not sure. Telez versus J-Rock, dope fight. Tank undercard. That's a sneaky, I'm telling you, man, that's a sneaky good card, man. I think that's going to be a really good fight. That's a big step up for Yoenis Telez. Shout out to Box Lab, who promotes him. J-Rock, obviously, former champion, former unified champion. Julian Williams from Philadelphia. Listen, it's hard to count out Philadelphia fighters, man, because I counted out Stephen Fulton this past week against Brandon Figueroa. Look what happened to me. J-Rock is a Philly guy. You know what I mean? So it's hard to count those guys out. This is a big step up for Telez, man. Big step up for Telez, who's trained by the great Ronnie Shields. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. Yeah, man, Wax. We gonna get Lucas Body, man. The Prince hopefully will be in the building. But again, if you're not following me on IG, make sure you follow me on IG so that we can confirm that. And then next Thursday, haven't confirmed the guest, I may go solo dolo because I love going solo dolo with my chat. And we may just do that and just break down, the Keyshawn card, the main event, the prelims, the main card. We'll probably just break that down together unless I'm able to get a last minute. Oh, Falcone, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, man. I'm saying, bro, Eric, bro, shout out to you, man. For real, man. Shout out to you. That was a good call out, man. Good call out. But yeah, man. So I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. Check out ProBox this weekend. And make sure you check out the Hangout Spot. I put shorts on all the time, almost every night, every other night. I put a good short out there, some of the interview clips. If you weren't here to watch the the Jose Benavidez Senior interview, make sure you check that out. It was a banger. But as always, man, I appreciate the love and support. We're going to tap out until next week. This is your boy Johnny signing out from the Hangout Spot, and I'll talk to everybody soon.